Howdy, y'all. Good evening. Welcome to the Vision Quest Retreats live event, the Trials, Tribulations, and Triumphs of the Heroine's Quest. Okay, before we get started, I want you to know that you can still chat live here as long as we are live, like we were able to on the book that shall not be mentioned. Okay, I'm getting a glimpse here of my costume, which needs a little repair with this. Too many things going on here. Okay. I know. So the problem apparently is the costume, not the the twiddly bug thingies. Alexa, stop. Last thing I need is for Facebook. I keep calling it Facebook, is for YouTube to mute me. So welcome. Thank you for coming to our live event, the Trials, Tribulations, and Triumphs of the Heroine's Quest. And what we're going to be talking about tonight, I had thought about continuing the discussion from last week, the first episode of this Facebook Live series that will be going until the 6th of March. Okay, so we'll be here for the next however many, I guess it's 4 Wednesdays, I don't know, until the 6th of March anyway. You can count on the calendar. But before we get started, I'm taking a suggestion from a friend of mine who's out there. I don't know if she wants to be named. Her name is Carolyn. Okay, but I'm not going to give you her last name because I don't know if she wants to be named. Who suggested that I might want to start my Facebook Lives by lighting a candle. Works for me, okay? And I brought my lighter, my pink lighter, because pink is my favorite color. And I'm just going to light it. Now, I don't think that this will be on camera row. My nephew used to call it camera row. I guess I could put it back there on the computer table and then you can see it, because if it's here, you're not going to see it. It's just going to be a candle burning in my face, which is not a good thing. But these are lovely smelling candles. Happy Women-Owned Business Wednesday also to those of you who are business owners. I mentioned that, or I thought about that, because that candle was made by a woman whose business it is, and her name is Maxine Chumley, and not sure she settled on the name of the business yet. It was Maxine's Mixtures. This says Linden Hill Candles, so you'll probably be able to find it there. But anyway, that one is like a lavender and peppermint. So why is my chat not on? Top chat, live chat. Okay, let's make sure that people can chat. So why doesn't everybody take a moment and chat something in the chat screen so that we know that you can chat? I don't know where it is on your PC. On mine, it's over to the right. Okay. So if you're there, the Heal and Deal LLC. Hey, good to see you, Eileen. Thanks for coming on. Yeah. Now I'm discovering this is my first time doing this with folks on YouTube. So that is one difference I'm noticing on Facebook. When people are on, you just automatically get a notice. Here, I guess people need to tell you they're here. So if you're here, please don't be shy. Speak up and say howdy. Okay. So anyway, we're gonna continue to get started. Lit our candle, and this is what I use when I'm in my quiet room doing my prayers and meditation, kind of call the spirits up. And not to mention, it's kind of fun to dance to. The reason why I am wearing these ear thingies is because they remind me of the knave, the fool from the tarot cards. And I thought that was appropriate. I'm not going to wear them the entire time because it could be distracting that I have these things going on. But I thought that was appropriate because what I'm going to be talking about tonight is an experience that troubled me today, but that, of course, will possibly lead to learning, as all those things do. And that's really what the role of the Fool is in the cards of the tarot. The Fool is the first card in the major arcana, and he represents, the complete novice. Now, I hope this is the Fool in this deck. I'm not 100% sure because this is the Global Fusion Tarot deck that was made by my cousin, Wayne Rodney, through his business, which is Rodney Illustrations, who did the illustrations for my books, 1 and 2, The Adventures of Isabel, books 1 and 2. So I've looked through, and I think that's the Fool in his deck, but I was trying to get him to pop on so he could answer that question for me. But I've been running around today, and even though previously I thought, I have a ton of time to get ready. It'll be a first. I'll have time to get myself together before my, thing. As usual, that was not the case. A couple things jumped on the plate that were unexpected, and here we are. If you are a human being out there, you probably have had the same experience. Okay. So again, if you're on, thank you, Eileen, for saying hi. Anybody else, please just say hello. Just hello. You might have to be subscribed to say hello. If that's the case, go ahead and subscribe, please. That'd be very helpful. So, one more little thing I want to share because this is fun and it's pink. You can't see the light. Hold on, because this ring light is so bright. Hold, please. I'm gonna take that down for a minute and show you my new toy that I got from my friend Diane because he makes me happy, but I have to beat him to get him to light up sometimes. Okay. What's the purpose of him? I don't know. He's fun. He makes me happy. The Heroine's Quest should be fun as is possible, right? It's an adventure that we embark on. And there are a lot of rewards to being on the Heroine's Quest, as I'm sure many of you can attest. But there are also trials, tribulations, and triumphs. So what I want to talk about tonight are some of those things because, this is what I do with people. I do success coaching, and I try to encourage my clients to see their lives as Heroine's Quest. And I think that it's definitely worthwhile. I think it has a lot of rewards. But at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that, hey, Nina, thank you. But there's a lot of stuff that I'm just texting somebody here. Sorry, 1 second, I'm distracted. I'm yelling at my cousin to type something. Okay. Maybe she's trying to remain anon. Okay. What was I saying? So what I was saying is that the rewards of being on the Heroine's Quest are great, but as in a lot of things in life, there's also a lot of risk involved for great reward. I still would rather heed the call to adventure and embark on the Heroine's Quest to live my vision of success than to stay in the mundane world and not, to play it safe. I'd rather risk. Hey, Maxine, were you on when I lit your candle? Maxine, can you tell us or send us a link to your candles? Because I wasn't sure if it's Maxine's Mixtures or Linden Hill candles. So maybe you can tell us because I lit your candle to start and it's smelling delicious. Maybe you were there already. I don't know. So trials and tribulations. So today I had something happen. This is real talk. I'm not into pretending. I'm not into faking it. I think that I have to go through what I help my clients to go through on a very real basis. I can't fake it. I'm not above, a lot of things that I'm helping people with. Sometimes, I've gone through them before clients have most times. And also, obviously training and all that good stuff that equips me to do what I do. But that doesn't mean that I'm not human. And that's what I want to talk about because I'm really about keeping it real. I don't think that we get anywhere by pretending, or faking it or lying or being false or any of that. So the real deal is that what happened earlier, oh boy, my cousin. Would you say, Maxine, hello? This message is held in review. Uh-oh, did somebody cuss me out? Okay. Maybe because they're not signed up. Max's Mixtures. Okay, cool. Very cool. They are delightful. I got 2 candles recently, and I have been using them during my Sunday evening relaxation time and just when I like to smell good smells and relaxing scents. So you might want to check that out. By the way, other folks who are on here, please feel free to share any links or anything around your businesses or anything that has to do with you living your vision of success, because I want people to get to know each other on here, because I'm realizing, okay, one of the limitations of this YouTube thing is that people don't necessarily see who's on there, okay? And I know you might not want to put your personal business out there, so if you just put a name of where you want to send people, that would be great. Hey, Tawana, how are you? Thanks for joining. Maybe I should, since Tawana is here, mention that today we launched a little collaboration with her business, MTUR Photography, and with Vision Quest Retreats, where she has offered free headshot sessions, professional headshot or corporate portraits. So we put that out there today. The next 2 women who sign up for my retreat, my beach retreat, the Spring Breakthrough Beach Retreat that's being held March 22nd through 24th in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. The next 2 women who sign up for that will get the free headshot session and the headshots, and that comes with professionally done makeup and styling. So it's a really good deal. I don't know how much that normally costs because it's been a long time since I've had my headshots done. I will be getting mine done when Toyna comes to town, and she has given me the addition of 2 more women who can partake of that. But the way to partake of it is by signing up for the Spring Breakthrough Beach Retreat, which you can do on my website at visionquestretreats.com. Okay, so now what happened today? What happened today? So last week I was talking about, and by the way, hi Clara, thanks for joining. I saw you come on. Last week I was talking about one of the particular trials and tribulations of being on the heroine's quest, which is loneliness. Okay, now just to quickly recap, what I mean by that is that a lot of times when you're out there on this quest, you might be the only one doing what you're doing, okay? You might also be surrounded by people who don't necessarily understand what you're doing, who are unable to, give you the moral support for that. And so it can be kind of lonely sometimes, okay? And sorry, I got to turn my phone over because my cousin is over here texting, and she's very funny, okay? But hopefully she'll get on here, and you probably won't get the benefit of her wisdom because she's going to not do that in public, but it's very funny. Okay, so in trying to market my retreat and fill the retreat, I was getting very frustrated because things were going very slowly, and it's feeling demoralized. And I was like, nobody's helping me, nobody understands, which is not true. I mean, obviously there are people who support and help me, and many of you are on here right now. But that's just the way that I was feeling. And some of the key people in my life who I might expect to be there to offer support were not, and typically have not been able to. So, that's my expectation that is leading to that disappointment, which kind of leads into what I'm going to talk about tonight. Okay. So earlier today, when I was launching this new promotion, I asked, thank you for sharing that, Eileen. I asked a fellow business owner if she would help me by sharing the promotion with her community. And she said no, which that doesn't really bother me as much as the way it was said, which was very callously and pretty much as if I had never spent a lot of time helping and supporting her and her burgeoning business. So I didn't like the way that it felt. And I said, okay, so it sounds like you're saying no. And then she came back with like, no, because I don't do such as a, very cut and dry. And my first thought was, I can be a very direct and assertive person. But I do try to honor and work with Don Miguel Ruiz's first agreement, which is always be impeccable with your word. So to say what you mean and to mean what you say, but don't say it mean. Okay. And sometimes we can think we're being assertive when really a little bit of kindness could go a long way. So I was troubled by this. I was troubled, and I found myself feeling distracted. Okay, distracted was kind of in my head, and I had a lot to do, and I tried to do what we talked about last week, which is to not put focus on that. Focus on the people in my life. This is me talking about me. Try to focus on the people in my life who are loving, who are giving support. I have another colleague who is out there in the business world, and I shared this to her page, tagging her, saying, would you share this with your community? Very positive. And this brings me back to why I even started Women-Owned Business Wednesday. Okay, so I started Women-Owned Business Wednesday because I noticed that well, for one, I wanted to support other women business owners, okay, and create a community around that. But also because I had had enough experiences at the time to know that people can be very competitive, and that's based on a scarcity mentality. Okay, I try to really cultivate a spirit and a belief in abundance. And I say try because it's not always easy, right? I am a naturally competitive person, and I, will notice a tendency to say, well, no, because if I tell this person about this and we're both, let's say applying for this or whatever, then that's competition, and I'm just, like I said, very naturally competitive. But I really want to live in a world where I not only espouse the belief, but live the belief that there is enough for everyone, okay? And that if there is enough for everyone, then I should be able to share resources and, support my sisters and not worry about, there not being enough for me, right? So that's where, I'm thinking where I would, need to strive to, and that's what I try to promote through my behavior, because again, it's really easy to say that, but that did not keep me from feeling this really hurt, when I look at it, feeling hurt about this person's response, okay? By the way, feel free to chime in if you've had this experience. So I thought about it all day, and I thought, because I'm not big on staying in the problem, okay? Feel the feelings I believe in, but I don't believe in having those things take up space in my head and distract me, because I need every bit of my energy to continue on what I see as my quest and as what I see as my mission. Okay. So I can't really afford to be giving away energy in a negative way, thinking about resentments or thinking about hurt feelings or what have you. Now, trust me, different people, their sensitivity levels are set at different places. There's some people who that would just be a blip for, all right, whatever, moving on. And there's some people who may be more sensitive than I am, or who are sensitive and would, lash out or do something. I don't know. I'm not worrying about them. I'm focusing on me and what I went through and where I'm going to try to take it in order to hopefully help other folks who have had the same experience. So I don't want to focus on the problem. I want to get into the solution. I don't like things rankling around in my head. So what I want to share with you is something that I learned in the 12-step tradition of taking an inventory of resentments, okay? And I do this from time to time when I can't just use my cognition or somatic, techniques, breathing or whatever, to just let something go. If it's sort of sticking around or leaching my energy, then I find that I need to get rid of it. And one of the best ways to do that is to write it out and take an inventory of it, with the understanding that there's some part that I have that needs to be worked on, sort of like a new realization of a soft spot or an Achilles heel. If I'm feeling disturbed, we say in the program, if I'm feeling disturbed, there's something about me that needs to be looked at. Okay. And that's just pretty much a guarantee. It's not to say that other people can't be wrong, but where I go at the end of the day is, whether they're wrong or not, I can't change them. I can only change me. So what does this disturb reveal to me that I need to continue to work on? and to shore up, okay? Because it's easier for me to put the focus on me and work on myself than to go around expecting everybody to act a particular way. So again, I've used this many times in my life, and I've taught it to clients, whether individual, one-on-one therapy, one-on-one success coaching. And I've also taught it when I'm teaching leadership and management classes, because it's very useful in a professional context as well, because we obviously can get resentments wherever we are. And those things can, like I said, they take our energy away. They distract us. They can change us. And I don't really like anything that's going to take me off of my calm, peaceful center. And I'm striving to be this year to let go of a lot of things. 2019 is a big year for me. And one of the things I want to let go of is this dynamic of, getting hurt feelings and being stuck in this resentment. So without further ado, 7:51. Okay. I don't know if we'll be on here a full hour. By the way, if you have friends that you think could benefit, would enjoy being here, feel free to send them a little note and tell them to pop on the YouTube channel. Okay. If you're just joining us, we are talking about the trials, tribulations, and triumphs of the heroine's quest. And specifically right now, I'm talking about how to deal with resentments that can occur specifically on the path, on the quest, so being frustrated in some way. Clara said, changing my attitude is the biggest challenge of my life. Yes, it is very, very difficult to change habits, that these are, as Don Miguel Ruiz would say, agreements that we've made with ourselves that basically say, if somebody does this, I will feel this way, okay? And that makes us slaves to other people's behaviors. So before I get into doing the inventory, because Clara just reminded me of something that I think could be very helpful, is this thing called addictive demanding, okay? So addictive demanding is when you require of somebody else or a certain situation to go a particular way in order for you to feel a particular way, okay? So that goes back to that agreement thing. Do I have the 4 agreements on the show? I know I have it in the house. I just don't know if I have it here. But if you are not familiar with the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, it can be a very, 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 very helpful book, okay? And I teach them and I have to practice them over and over. You've probably heard me talk about them if you've heard me talk about anything. So those can also be very helpful. So I do try to be impeccable with my word, to not make any assumptions, don't take anything personally, and to always do my best, nothing more and nothing less. Okay, now I could do a whole thing on the 4 agreements. I actually have done a whole thing on the 4 agreements, and it's here on my YouTube channel. So if you want to see me talking about the 4 agreements, how convenient. You can do that, and I can talk about this now. Groovy. Okay, so the inventory. What do you need for an inventory? Well, you need a piece of paper. Now, I happen to be partial to the pads of the legal nature myself, and the reason why I like these, I turn them horizontally and got this lovely little line. I don't know if you can see that line. Okay, everybody knows what a legal pad looks like, but I like to use that line, and I put columns across the top for my little inventory. Okay, so first time ever live doing an inventory live. Okay, I was actually thinking, okay, well, I need to work through this resentment. I'll do that, and then I'll talk about it. And then I said, no, I will do it live. Never before attempted in the history of resentments. Partly why I'm doing it live is because I didn't have enough time to do it before. I was trying to get my dinner ready. I don't want to get into really how tired I am right now with all the work I'm doing. Segue. One of the things that I sometimes wish is that I had a family. I mean, my own, what do you call it? Nuclear family, husband, children, whatever. I don't think I could handle a child. I can barely handle my life. Okay, I got me. I don't have a husband. I don't have any kids, and I'm tired. I don't even work a full 8-hour day. It's Wednesday. I'm already tired. Okay, so I just want to say that since we're keeping it real. Maybe I could. Maybe I'd have to rise to the occasion if I want to try to keep some children alive, but I'm glad I get to go to sleep after this. Okay, so back to lay inventory. So the first thing you write is I'm going to do this in Sharpie so that it's more visible. I'll keep my Sharpies right there. Okay, so the first column is resent. Okay, so I resent, if that helps you, but I just say resent at this point. Then the next column is feel/fear. Okay, I'll explain each of these in turn. The third column is what's affected. And the last column, which I like to call the money column, is my part. Okay, and I call it the money column because it's the only part that's going to yield me anything. I shouldn't say that. It's going to yield me the biggest load. Okay, so I don't know if this is backward as it is on Facebook Live, but looks like it is. Okay, so just pretend you can read. Resent, feel/fear, what's affected, and my part. Okay, this thing, all you need is a piece of paper, a pencil, a pen, and your life can change. Okay, so what I try to do and what I teach folks to do is don't spend a lot of time on the resentment column, because really that's not even where you want to put your focus in terms of, well, a lot of people start off, well, she, was mean, she was this, she was that. No, just stick to the facts. Okay, I'm a big Dragnet fan, just the facts, very cut and dry, just what happened, okay? Because all that other stuff is stuff that we add to it, or that I add to it. Okay, so resent is blank said no dice in a curt way. Okay, now I don't like no at all, so I'll be honest with that. I don't really like no, but I can deal with no's when they're done with kindness. Okay, but that's what happened. This person said no, basically in a very cut and dry way. Okay, and there's a little resentment because of past exchanges. Okay, and I don't mean that we've had bad. Don't worry about it. Okay, feel/fear. Okay, this is where you give vent to your feelings. Okay, so first of all, anytime I'm angry, I'm really hurt. Okay, I don't like that. I like to be, anger feels like it's more of a strong place to come from, but really anytime I'm angry, my feelings are hurt. Okay, so I just always go ahead and put hurt. Okay, hurt, let down, not supported. What else? What else came up for me? I know I was hurt. I know I felt let down. I was angry. I don't know what else I was. I mean, that's enough. Hurt. That's enough to lead to it. Okay. That what I have done isn't being reciprocated. Now, to be fair, I'm not saying this person has never done anything. I'm just saying it feels like there's a big imbalance there, and that it might just be because she's not good at what, I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is how I felt. Okay. So I felt hurt, let down, not supported. Could also say disappointed. If anybody can think of anything that I'm, blocking, please, by all means, tell me, because I can't think of any other feelings. Okay. Now, fear. Oh my God, I almost forgot the fear part. Okay. So the reason why fear is because underneath a lot of these feelings, there is often a fear. Okay. And again, I could go do a whole thing on the fight or flight response and threat and how we react to that and blah, 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 blah. Don't have time. We all know what a fear is. Okay, so the fear is important to get to, because there is often, not always, an underlying fear of something that has nothing to do with the current situation. Okay, so if I have a fear associated with this, I know what it would be. It would be my fear of failure. Welcome, D. Wright. It took you 26 minutes to figure out how this technology works. I had to create a channel. I don't. Well, we are so glad that you made it. Thank you. Okay. So, and thank you for pressing through. So my fear that comes up from something like this, believe it or not, is the fear of failure. Okay. Well, you probably can figure out why. Okay. This person's not helping me. Oh my gosh, I need that help. I'm going to fail. Okay. So, and we're going to talk next week about fears of failure and success. So I'm not going to go all into that right now, but everybody can understand a fear of failure. So that's one of the things that it brings up for me, is my fear, and not just, let me not be so general, specifically my fear that this particular retreat, which by the way is coming up March 22nd through the 24th in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, the Spring Breakthrough Beach Retreat, my retreat will not be successful. Okay, that's my fear, because that's a fear that I have because I so want to live my vision and bring this vision to life that I've been working on forever, and I've been working on it. Okay, next week we'll deal with that. But right now, that's what it brings up. Okay, good to know. So that's my fear. Okay, and I'm creating some sort of story. Hey, Donna, thank you for joining with your little dancing girls. Congratulations, Donna. I can't tell them your news, but if you want to, you can. Okay. So I have this fear. I'm bringing this to the situation. This person doesn't know anything about it, doesn't have to know anything about it, really not her business or her job to make me feel better. Okay. Now we're on to what's affected. Donna, we're doing a little inventory here. What's affected? Okay. So what was affected? And again, for me, I've been doing this so much, it's pretty much standard. My serenity was affected. Okay. My mood was affected. I wasn't horrible and crabby all day, but I just don't like any level of disturb going on in here. Okay. So my serenity and my mood was affected. And my vision was affected. Oh, I don't mean my sight. I mean my vision of success. My vision was affected because anytime my energy is being caught up somewhere in a negative way, it necessarily affects my vision. Okay. It also affects my relationship with that person. Okay. So you always want to look at that relationship with person. Okay. Can also affect relationships with other people. Suppose because of experiences like this, I don't trust other people, or suppose I'm crabby with my friends, or suppose it affects my personality because now I don't want to share things with people because they don't share anything with me. And then I got to get my teddy bear. Okay. He'll be all right. Oh, he's lighting up. Oh, sorry, Teddy. Okay, I'll talk to you afterward. Okay, be cool. We got over. All right. So relationship with her. Now, just so that, thank you for sharing that, Clara. Fear of success yields anxiety of perfectionism. And then again, that's why you have to go to that fourth agreement of always do your best, nothing more, nothing less, because there's no such thing as perfect. So what's affected for you is going to be different, right? Let's say you get upset and so you start smoking. Okay. So your health will be affected. Suppose you overeat. Suppose you go into work and you're distracted, then your work is affected. Your vision is affected, if you change it all. So those are the kind of things. Self-esteem can be affected, self-image, what is it in you that was affected? And again, going back to all that really happened is because we don't connect everything from the past. This one thing happened, and this is how I felt. This is what I'm afraid of. And this is, I didn't put failure. And this is what's affected. Now, dun, 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 dun. Shakers, please. My part. Okay, again, this is the only part that's going to yield me any relief because it's the only part I can do anything about. And I honestly have not even thought about this till now. So this could get pretty hairy. Well, expectations are always mine, expectations. I expect that if I am a friend of yours, I support you, that you will support me. Duh, that doesn't happen all the time. Okay, so that's mine. Okay. What else? My expectation. Come on, you guys, you can help me. What's wrong? What's my part? Well, I took it personally. I don't have to do that. Okay, so I would say taking it personally. Okay, what else? Well, okay, that fear of failure that I mentioned, that's my fear. Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with that person. So my part is fear of failure. Okay, now there's another thing too that I didn't mention, but that I know is at play somehow in this, which is, well, I did mention my competitiveness, which is my competitiveness. Okay, because, and not in the way of I'm competing with her, but in the way of I have a goal, I must achieve it. And that's sometimes how, I'm just like driven like that. Okay. So that's my thing, is competitiveness. This is illegible, by the way. Okay. So that's mine. Let me see what else is mine. Expectations, taking it personally, fear of failure. What else? Oh, well, in a way, I'm not being as compassionate or as understanding as I could be because I am making a judgment about this person. So that's a lack of compassion. Compassion. Oh, the other thing, anytime I'm still harboring resentment, I haven't forgiven the person yet. Okay, so that's a lack of forgiveness on my part. You know. Now, the other thing that it is, and this goes along with the expectations, I'm looking for another book that I have. David Richaud, he's a great guy. He's a psychologist and Buddhist, and he talks about the 5 things we cannot change and the happiness we find when we accept them. Okay. And one of those 5 things is that people are not loving and kind all the time. Okay. Which I know intellectually. But if my feelings are getting hurt, then it's as if I'm acting as if, oh, self-esteem. Okay, I will take a look at that, Eileen. I'm acting as if, even though I know intellectually people are not loving and kind all the time, yet I'm in resistance to the reality because here's the reality happening and I'm not accepting it. So I would put acceptance. Okay. So for self-esteem, yeah, I think you're right, Eileen. If I dig a little deeper, if I'm being competitive and I'm fearing failure, it could be because, and we're getting a little bit into next week, but it could be because I'm tying my self-esteem to my need to succeed. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put self-esteem. Okay, I hope that's what you meant as a my part. And I'll put low. I won't just put self-esteem. I'll put low, means it could come up a couple notches if this is bothering me. Okay, so that's pretty good, I would say, for getting a lot of things out. So now what I do, and thank you, by the way, for sitting here while I did this. Now what I can do is I can look at these things. Well, my expectations, yeah, okay, so that's something I need to let go of. I keep striving to not take things personally. People have a perfect right to act any way they want, which reminds me, I didn't finish talking about addictive demanding. Addictive demanding is saying you must act this way for me to feel okay. And what you do with an addictive demand is you up-level it to a preference, okay? And in a preference, you would say, I would prefer that this person would have done X, Y, and Z, but I can still choose happiness and peace of mind if they don't, okay? So that's my giving my energy and my power to somebody else to determine my mood. You feel the same way? Ah, yes, I agree with you. Thank you, Eileen. Will we get to see the notes? Do you mean this chicken scratch? Is this what you mean by the notes? Now, what I can do is I can mail out I do have a document that shows you how to do an inventory. So in answer to your question, AEW Financial Partners, who I'm not sure who you are, but that's okay. Yes, I can post a link. Actually, what I'll do after this, I'll post a link to my blog where you could download a PDF. It'll take me, I won't be able to do it tonight because I'm kind of done, but within the next couple of days, I can get that up. And if you know me personally, shoot me an email or Facebook message me at Nicole Cutts or Vision Quest Retreats with Dr. Nicole Cutts. And then it'll be even easier for me to get it to you because I can just attach a Word doc and send it. But if I do it on my blog, I'm going to have to turn it to a PDF, blah, 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 blah. You cannot imagine how long it takes me to do one simple thing due to a slight touch of perfectionism. Okay, so I need to look at these things and go, okay, these things are not actually new. So I continue to work on them. I know that this is what this means. If I felt this way over here, then that's an indicator of these things that I need to continue to work on. And that gives me plenty to focus on, and putting my focus on this doesn't fill me with resentment. It gives me a solution and a place to go. If I just focus on what this person did and sit there talking about what a terrible person they are, all that does is get me churned up and I feel bad and I can feel like a victim and I can feel angry, but it doesn't yield anything except it takes away or leeches my energy. So I choose to not do that as much as possible. I mean, I always have to keep striving to do this, okay? So that's my inventory. Am I leaving out anything? Oh, what do I do with these things? Well, I continue to work on them, but in my case, I don't work on them alone. I ask my higher power, who is a goddess, who has a specific name. I ask her to help me by giving me the strength to act differently, to remove these things. And I have to continue to work on them, but I do enlist the help of my higher power also because I want to be free of these things so I can have all of my energy to continue to fulfill my mission on the earth, which is what I think I'm here for. Okay, so that's my story. Join us next week on Nicole's Mindless Ramblings. No, I'm joking. It's not Mindless Ramblings. Actually, I think it made a lot of sense. 7:30 back here at the Success Doc. I'm so used to saying my FB handle, but we're going to be here. Thank you all very much for coming. I will be reading your comments. And actually, do they stay? Do the comments stay? I'm not sure that they do. So I better take a look at them now. Again, if you want a copy of this, you can send me an inbox message and I can send it to you. Once again, if you sign up before it's gone, the offer for a professional headshot session from Tawana Quiroga and MTUR photography stands if you register rather for the spring breakthrough beach retreat, March 22nd to the 24th, that we're having at Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, at the lovely Belmore Inn and Spa. If you want more details about that, I will post them here, but obviously you can go to my website, which is visionquestretreats.com, and you will see Spring Breakthrough Beach Retreat. And I'm very much looking forward to that. I hope some of you who are not already signed up can join us. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. I'm going to go eat now. I started my dinner before. That's not going to change. Whether I'm on Facebook or YouTube, I will always be on my way to eating my dinner. Okay. Oh, Andrea. Hi, Andrea. Thank you for coming. Okay. Anybody else that I need to change my attitudes? Okay. Okay. Thanks for sharing your experience, strength, and hope. Thank you, Clara. It was my pleasure. And thank you, Eileen, for coming from Heal and Deal LLC. Again, you guys check each other out, please. Eileen has a line of, I don't know, Eileen, would you call them greeting cards? They are cards for folks who are dealing with cancer, cancer survivors, people who are caretakers for people with cancer. Heal and Deal LLC. Clara, Eileen is the person, Heal and Deal LLC. Eileen is the person that I was introducing you to on Facebook. So, I know you all exchanged. I hope you continue to connect. AEW Financial, Andrea, you didn't give me. Oh, Andrea Addis. Duh. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Andrea, for coming. D. Wright. So looking forward to the retreat. Yay, you're coming. And Donna was on here briefly. She might have had to go take a nap. And am I forgetting anybody? I truly hope not. But I really appreciate all of you for coming. And look forward to seeing you next time. Oh, Clara, also, did you get that thing? I tagged you on that thing about the speaking thing. So hopefully you're going to take a look at that. All right, over and out. Thank you for joining me here on the Vision Quest Retreats live event. And I will see you next week, same time, same channel at 7:30 p.m. Tell your friends. Thank you. Good night. Not speaking thing. Okay.